This is the Riding Times e-bike, and my first thought swinging a leg over it was, wow, this feels more like a small moto than a bicycle. The long bench seat, the fat 20x4 tires, the chunky center tank that hides 2 batteries. It sets a vibe right away. I put a couple of weeks on it in mixed use, neighborhood streets, bike paths, a few packed dirt trails, errands with a backpack in the front rack bag, and some short commutes. I wanted to see if it's as fun and practical as it looks, and where it cuts corners. Key features that stood out to me are the dual battery setup, the plush suspension, and the torquey rear hub motor. The batteries are 48 volts, 15.6 amp hours each, wired in parallel for a total of 31.2 amp hours. That's a lot of energy for this class, and it comes with 2 chargers, so you can charge both packs at once. The pack bays lock with keys, and I charged off-bike a couple of nights without hassle. The suspension is a 6-point mix, dual crown style fork with 2 legs of damping, dual springs under the seat, and the fat tires doing the last bit. It gives the bike a soft, floaty feel over cracked pavement and curbs. The motor is rated 750 watts nominal, 1500 watts peak, and it feels strong. Off the line, it has that shove that makes you grin, and on short, steep hills, I didn't have to pedal if I didn't want to. From my experience, top speed depends on settings. In the default legal mode, it sits right around the high 20s mph. Once I went into the settings and opened it up, I saw low 30s on flat ground with no wind. The bike offers PAS, which means pedal assist, where the motor helps as you pedal across 5 levels, and a throttle-only mode. It also has a 7-speed drivetrain. In my opinion, the gears are handy up to about 18-20 miles per hour, but above that your legs start ghost pedaling and the throttle does the real work. If you're new to e-bikes, that's normal on moped-style models. They're built to ride more like a scooter with pedals as backup. The ride comfort is the star. That long seat spreads out pressure and lets me slide forward or back to find balance. The suspension calms down washboard trails and the buzz from rough city streets. I've ridden stiffer e-bikes that rattle your wrists. This one keeps things smooth, almost bouncy if you hit speed bumps too fast. The trade-off is weight. With the steel frame and dual batteries, it's hefty. Walking it upstairs is a no for me. Moving it around a garage or loading into a pickup is doable but awkward. On the road, that mass makes it feel planted and stable at speed. In tight turns at low speed, you feel the high center of gravity, so I take it easy in parking lots. Range will vary with rider weight, hills, and how much throttle you use. I'm in the 200+ pound range with a backpack, and on a mostly flat loop, using throttle a lot. I got around the high 30s to roughly 40 miles before I started to feel voltage sag. On a PAS heavy ride at level 2 to 3, pedaling at a relaxed pace, I stretched past 60 miles and still had usable charge. The claimed 70 to 150 miles is optimistic unless you ride gently and pedal consistently. But with 2 batteries, this does go farther than most single-pack mopeds I've tried. Charging both packs together overnight with the 2 2A chargers worked out to be a practical routine. Braking is where I paid close attention. The listing says dual hydraulic brakes. My unit arrived with cable-actuated mechanical calipers. The levers didn't have hydraulic reservoirs, and the feel was typical cable. If your box says hydraulic and you get hydraulic levers with bleed ports, awesome. On mine, I took time to dial the cables and bed the pads. Stopping power was acceptable for casual riding, but coming down some 30 miles per hour, I had to plan ahead and squeeze firmly. Given the bike's weight and speed, I'd prefer true hydraulics. If you get the hydraulic version, that's a win. If not, I'd budget for an upgrade down the line. The display is bright enough in daylight and shows speed, battery bars, PAS level, and trip odo. Setting changes require a couple of long presses and menu steps that aren't very intuitive. After a few rides, I got used to it, but I still wish the UI was clearer. There's front and rear lighting that's noticeably brighter than budget bikes, which I appreciate for dusk rides. The included 10-liter front rack bag is practical. It held a charger, lock a small pump, and my lunch, and it leans into the retro look in a fun way. Build-wise, the carbon steel frame feels stout. Welds on my sample looked clean where it matters, and I didn't notice flex under power. I did keep an eye on the head tube junction, because I'd seen comments online about that area. Nothing weird showed up after my rides, no creaks or alignment quirks. I'll keep checking it as miles add up. The bike is rated for riders between 5 feet 3 inches and 6 feet 1 inch and up to 330 pounds. I had a comfortable fit. The seat extension piece is handy. I pushed it back for a roomier posture, which also helped weight distribution. I did run into one scare. After a short grocery run, the display flashed an E02 error and the bike wouldn't respond to throttle. I powered off, pulled the battery trays, reseated both connectors, checked the main harness at the head tube, and it came back to life. It didn't recur in the following rides. I can't say whether that was a loose connector from shipping or a controller blip, but I'm mentioning it because electrical gremlins are the kind of thing that can turn a great ride into a headache. There's a stated warranty and multiple support channels, and I'd use them if it happened again. I'd also carry a 4mm and 5mm hex, and a small Phillips in the bag for quick checks. It's perfect for riders who want a relaxed, moped-style cruiser that still handles mixed surfaces. Think neighborhood exploring, short commutes on city streets, coffee runs, beach paths, and light trails. The dual batteries cut down on range anxiety, and the seat and suspension make rough pavement less of a chore. I wouldn't pick it for apartment living unless you have an elevator, and I wouldn't choose it as a no-maintenance daily if you're not comfortable doing basic checks. If your priority is a featherweight pedal-centric e-bike, this isn't that. If your priority is comfortable speed with a throttle and a cushy ride, this scratches that itch. From my experience, the biggest smiles came from how easy it is to just hop on and cruise. No hunting for the perfect gear, no sore wrists after bad road patches. Just roll and go. The biggest pause point for me is the braking spec mismatch on my unit and the possibility of occasional electrical hiccups. If you get the hydraulic brakes and a clean electrical system, you're in a great spot. If you don't, you'll want patience and maybe a willingness to tinker. I'd recommend this for riders who like the motorcycle vibe without going full moto, want more range than a single battery can offer, and value comfort over ultimate pedal efficiency. In my opinion, it delivers strong power and a very smooth ride for the price, with the caveat that it's heavy and may require more owner attention than some premium competitors. In conclusion, the Riding Times 31.2 AH Moped Style Ebike for adults 1500W feels like a plush, torquey, long-range cruiser that prioritizes comfort and fun. The dual batteries and soft suspension are the highlights. The speed is plenty for city use, and the long seat makes every ride feel casual. Just make sure you confirm the brake setup you're getting, keep an eye on connectors, and be realistic about the weight. If those trade-offs make sense for you, it's an easy bike to enjoy. I'll leave the details about the Riding Times e-bike in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.